Hello, my name is Brian Martinez. I'm currently a student in the BFA program at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. I am a painter and my emphasis is in acrylic. I wanted to start with a quick background on how my work got to where it is today, and it all starts with getting introduced to graffiti in middle school. I remember in seventh grade, I messaged through MySpace this graffiti artist named Vans the Omega about color, asking how he approaches color, and he sent me back a message with different exercises I could do. And as soon as I got that message, I was happy that a graffiti artist had messaged me back, and I started experimenting with color that day. And then at some point in eighth grade, a teacher sat me down and told me I had to stop doing graffiti or else I would get into some serious trouble eventually. And it really sparked all my defense mechanisms. All my idols, everyone I looked up to, were graffiti artists. I didn't understand what she meant. But deep down, I knew she was being genuine, and I just had to find a way to transition myself from just graffiti into just regular art. Freshman year of high school for me was just about figuring out how to transition from graffiti to fine art. And the first thing I could think of was portraits. I was like, I guess artists do portraits. So this is actually the page from the first time that I ever practiced portraits. By the time I was a junior in high school, I was interning at a local art gallery inside the Arts Factory called the Joseph Watson Collection. Joseph really became my mentor then, and he was giving me the opportunity to show work. And this is one of the three pieces that I first ever showed in a gallery. I was still clinging on to my graffiti background, and just I had typography and everything at that point. When I turned 19, I had this urge to create a solo show, really inspired from a lot of my favorite artists. So I brought the idea up to Joseph. I explained what I wanted to do, and he was more than willing to help. He was willing to show my work. And from there, I just went into the process of how do I create a solo show, really just reading books, watching YouTube videos, and just figuring out a way to make it happen. After that first show, I saw how much of a challenge it was and how much I grew as an artist after, and I set a goal for myself. Every year until I turn 30, I'm gonna put together a solo show. Somewhere along the making of the solo shows, I was adding lots of pattern into my work, and I realized it started to be essential in most of my compositions. And really, this last year has been that putting together everything that I'd been studying to and enjoyed till then: patterns, portraits, and color. And that's really how my work has got to where it is today. One of my goals for the BFA this year was to take my own reference photos, and my friend Franco Bonilla helped me out with that this year. He's a photographer, and this is a reference photo he took for a painting I created called Piñata Head. Now, throughout the years of showing work at a gallery, I was able to really build my concepts. And I realized that a lot of my work really has to do with the mind. And I like to put that into my work because then I can talk to someone about it. Like, hey, what's your mental landscape like? Let's talk about yours, let's talk about mine. And I've realized that a lot of the times when you build in a concept into a work, it's really about what you're going to be able to get out of the viewer, and what kind of conversations you could have with the viewer. And then once I realized the power of art to evoke the viewer, it was really just about expressing my everyday life. And I knew that people would relate because we all go through similar things. This painting was about how anxiety was taking over my life and I was trying to control it. And then I came to the realization that I had to let go of the control, and then the anxiety went away. And that was a concept that I knew I would be able to have conversations about, but even then, a realization that might help others as well. That was really one of the big benefits of having to work at an art gallery and showing my work, was that I had to have lots of conversations about my art. And one of the things I realized was that I wasn't always going to be there. And so the work really needed to be evocative on its own. It really had the composition had to be heavy with things to guide the viewer, to take them here, take them there, not to guide them to my idea and my concept, but to be able to allow the viewer to come to their own conclusion. And that's really what informs my concepts: is what kind of conversations am I trying to have? What am I currently thinking about that I'm curious if other people have thought about, and what they think about it? And really, you put out a work with the concept, like let's say ambition or whatever, and all of a sudden 20 people tell you their opinion on ambition, and now you view ambition differently. And I think that's the beautiful thing about art. And so my concepts are really about ideas, thoughts, or subject matters that just capture me. Like right now, in the realm of ideas, I'm into health and wellness. In the realm of thoughts, I'm into like stoicism and philosophy. And in the realm of subject matters, I've been obsessed with chess. And so these things just start to express themselves in my work. Maybe not all at once, but they do just express themselves through different compositions. One area that I take dives to here and there is identity. I think a lot about what it's like to be Mexican American in contemporary times, especially being a Chicano that's not in LA or Texas. I really try to think about what is life of a Chicano in Las Vegas. And anytime I take dives to this, it feels separate from my work, but it feels very personal. I'm going into learning and researching about my own culture, about myself, about the body that I'm in. I think one of the benefits of diving into identity is realizing that I don't have to be blatant about trying to express the Chicano in my work, that it will always subconsciously come through. What's been beautiful about the BFA program is that I've been able to figure out my whys into the why I make artwork and all this stuff. Ultimately, I think I have this graffiti idea that I have to make something visually aesthetic, and then school and working at a gallery has helped me learn to explain and write down my concepts. And that's about it. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, go ahead. And if you'd like to follow my friend, if you dug that chill beat in the background. And yeah, thank you for your time and have a good day.